Alright, hello there guys, welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I'm going to be showing you all of my process that I did and how I organize my work in order to create this t-shirt design. For this design I'm going to be using a canvas of a 5000 pixels height by 3000 pixels wide. The first step that I like to do, make the background real quick. We're here, black, let's name it background, and this one specific we're gonna block it. Let's hit C to crop the design and bring it just a tiny bit to the side like that. And a method that I'm starting to incorporate into my design that works for me, this one is block. Let's type design here, turn it to white, so this is where the design is going to be. Let's duplicate it here and turn this one to black. This one is going to be references and leave it here. So everything that goes into the t-shirt is going to be on this side. References like photos and whatnot is going to be here. And now I can go ahead and start bringing photos, illustrations on textures that I may or may not use later on. And this one over here, bring it small, and the illustration here. Fine, and this is going to be the typography, but maybe I wanted to use this style. It's too big. Lower down, bring it right here. So this is going to be the style of the typography that I'm going to be using for the design. And now we already have 4 references here, and let's go to the design part. Make this maybe like a gray and start kind of designing the layout that I like to be using. So this is going to be text, like the title. Maybe I wanted something on the back here. Let's make another one smaller, but also light it up a little. And this is gonna be like the subtext. Let's bring it to the middle and add 2 details on each side. This one here and maybe this one around here. So this is gonna be our basic layout for the design, and now we can go ahead, or I can go ahead and start designing everything like I want it to be. So the photo gonna be here, but let's bring it all the way to the front. That should be fine there. Let's bring it up because I just want this area right here. So let's mask it and start deleting everything that we don't want. But first let's kind of start adding textures to the design. But we want, there you go, we want to select the layer, and here I can go ahead and just try to select which kind of effect I wanted, either very textured or just almost non-existent. I think maybe like that, so the marble on the rocks pops out and all the details pops out a little. And use the mask and delete all of this background. Once I was done, I can go ahead and I can delete this one or erase it for now, but this is gonna be the main design. Go ahead, this one, since this is gonna be the most important one. Let's paint it red, and that helps me whenever I have a lot of layers. Just go ahead and whenever, as soon as I see the red, I already know that is the main design. I can delete this one, and now on the back I wanted this illustration. And let's bring it around here and try to match it in the middle. Let's bring this one a tiny bit low. That's perfect to me. But this one I want it white. Let's go ahead and paint it white. And all of these like fingerprints, go ahead and delete them. And once we're done, the design should look like that. We can go ahead again, erase the background since we already have the base of what we want. Let's go this one. This one is going to be blue just to give contrast to the main design. Bring this kind of lower. For this one we can even like pass it here, turn it white, and all the way to the top. Bring it down up a little lower. I think that should work. And then for the text I want resilient, but it has to match the 2, and I believe the 9, which is the one that is far from the other one. So let's go ahead, bring it here, and this one around here, and there you go. Good, that's looking good. And for the texture in the typography, I find this to be very helpful for me. So let's try to bring this up here and this maybe here. Let's turn it white, and don't worry about it, it will make sense in a minute. Let's hit J for gradients, the basic one, do it like this. Select the normal one, mask it onto the type. Let's bring white more or less around here and here, maybe all the way to the middle. Perfect. And now with shift and double click both of them, the gradient and the title, hit Ctrl E, so you have just a layer of them. Go to filter gallery, and we should be able to get this texture, and over here you can play around of how much you want it or how little you want it. You can go ahead and maybe I want the bottom to be very black, so we can go ahead and kind of do it like this. That's perfect. And that way, as once we bring it here, it will all make contrast. And for these, I just want to add some like white strokes to the bottom like that. As you can see, it will give a lot of texture to the type. And let's go ahead and do that here. And just in case, I always make like a copy and move it around, so it's gonna be here. Just in case I mess up this one, I already have a copy, so I don't have to do the entire process again. Let's click here, G for gradients, and bring it here, mask it to the title. And like I said, I want the bottom to be very black, maybe all the way to here. Can bring this here and just play around however you want it to be. Remember that when it's pure white, in theory, when you are making the filter, it should be white, and these gray areas are gonna be very minimal. So look at it, something like this. Going to be pure white, gray, and pure black. I think that looks fine to me. Let's make it one, merge it together, filter gallery. As you can see, that looks way better. And now we can go ahead and try to make it pop. There you go. I'm liking that. Let's go ahead and delete this white stroke, and let's call this title maybe yellow. That looks really good. And here for the bottom, I wanted to say, well, let's first make it white, bring it up, and this one is not going to be that big, but let's type suffering. But I don't want this type. I want more like this, and right now it's way too big. This one I want it around here and be almost matching the 13 and 11. That looks good to me. Maybe like this and like that, and bring it first to the top, to the main design. Perfect. And for this one, we're going to be doing the exact same method that we use here, but we can go ahead and delete the background, and the design is pretty much mostly done by now. So we can go ahead, select this one, G for the gradients, make it like that, merge it or mask it, and start playing around on how we want it to look like. And that looks perfect. With Shift, select both of the layers, Control E, so we merge them together, and now filter gallery. Yeah, that looks perfect to me. It's the same. White stroke, and as you can see, this is looking good. Let's hide the grids. Fine. Let's select the suffering, double click on it, and add some drop shadow so it's not like cut over here. So let's increase this a little. Same with the depth, so when we zoom out, it actually looks like it all belongs together. Like without the drop shadow, there's no like cutting edge on the design, but over here we can tell like this should be in front of this, and with the drop shadow it gives some sort of like depth. So that's looking great. And this is suffering. Maybe this one we can turn it green, and let's bring both of the added texture or illustrations that we want. This one maybe here, and this one around here, so it should be like mostly like that. Let's bring this illustration here, bring it to the front. Let's do this one. Let's go ahead straight to the filter gallery. I think that's looking good. Let's bring it down because it's kind of big right now. Bring it down a little. I think that looks fine. And for this one, so let's make some sort of stroke here, so you can tell like this one goes in front of this one here. Maybe stroke. That looks fine. And just a tiny bit of, looks perfect. Same with this one, but this one is going to be, and now bring this one. But for this one I only want the photo, so let's go ahead and mask it, bring it here. Let's zoom in and start deleting the pieces that we don't want. Let's go ahead and delete everything that we don't need right now. Once we're done, we can go ahead and make it convert it into a smart object. I think we're missing something, and this one should go around here. Let's bring it to the front, scale it down. But I feel like the rectangle is just on my way, so let's erase it, zoom in, and that looks perfect to me. And we can go ahead, filter gallery, and start adding details to this part. That looks perfect. And this is the main design. We can go ahead and delete all of these and bring the design back to here. There you go. This is going to be the main design. Let's bring it right to the middle. That's how it's looking. Now we can take care of some minor details like these little dots here. That's on the main illustration. Erase this, erase that. Same with these two. This one, that's gonna be on the main design. Go ahead, delete that one. These ones right here on the 11 looks fine. These ones on the 8, as well as these two. That's gonna be on the main design. Go ahead, delete that one, and main design as well. There you go. Now we can go ahead and add some textures. Let's check that there's not any layers that we don't want. Everything here looks fine. Can go ahead, delete the first layer that Photoshop opened with. Let's bring the first textures that we want. It's going to be this one. We can double click, delete everything that is white. We can go ahead and zoom in, make it a smart object, double click again, color overlay, turn it to black, and as you can see, that's gonna be without the textures, with the texture, so it gives the design those kind of like cracks texture to all of the entire design. Well, that's great to me. Block this one just because if you don't block it and try to select something else, it might select the texture instead of the specific object that you're trying to click on. We can go ahead and add another one. Let's bring this one, center it up, same, try to delete the white, turn it to black, and try to see where more or less we want it. I think I want to use this one and try to see how it looks like without the white. Same process, converting to smart object, then add color overlay to black, and we can see how it looks like. You can see without it, with it. Delete this one, and I'm liking how it looks with this one. And one step that I always like to do to my designs is pretty much select all of these, no, not this one, all of these, make it into a group and merge the texture to the design. So if we delete this or the background, you can see that every single texture is within the design, and if we turn it out, you can see all of them come out. So hide this one on the design, hide this one on the design. And what I like to do now is with all Control Shift letter E, we make an entire photo, pretty much, as you can see, an entire photo. And with this one we can go ahead and add it to our mockup. Just copy. I already have my mockup over here. This design is going to be on the back part, and select, let's copy it with Control C, and I already have my t-shirt mockup, but the design is going to be on the back part of it. Let's add it here, bring it down, that's right on the middle, and with Control and double click on the photo, let's go to select, color range, and delete everything that is black. Control S and pass it to our shared. Over here, if you want to make it bigger, you could do that and try to center it out, bring it down a little so it's on the center of the shirt. And that's how I create this t-shirt design. If this video was helpful for you, please consider like and subscribe. Let me know if you like this video in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.